G'day, guys. Part two. We're here in Australia. Kangaroos, koalas, and Steve Irwin impersonations. They love it in Canada. They love them in America. As soon as I open my mouth, oh, you're Aussie, Steve Irwin. And look, we've got wonderful Australians here. And what we're talking about today is breath work. And we have a breathwork master. We have Berenice, which I call her Burn now. Okay. So that's the thing. Now, we were talking about in part one about trauma responses, and I'm just going to quickly share my trauma response with you with regards to going within the inner child, going within myself. I was in Hurricane Beryl, and I had basically 2 nights where I was locked in a room where I had no choice. Excuse me, I locked in a room. Basically, no choice. I had to do it because there was no electricity and safety. And it was the first time I actually accessed and talked to the inner child. I regressed a lot too. I remember standing at the window going, I shouldn't be here. I should be at home. Oh, this is not the right thing. It was like I was regressing into my old self. And it was really weird, the process when it went through. But I've been laying there and for 2 nights, you look at it, 9 till 6, I was inside locked in this room. And all you've got is your thoughts and yourself. You know what I mean? And it came out, it actually changed a lot of the ways I look at things and understanding things. Do you have people come to your sessions with that kind of experience and trauma that you've obviously, and now I know you're helping them to understand themselves and understand what's happening and how to actually work that into their lives to make them feel better and get to the person that they want to be?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Can I share my story with it? How I found my inner
As I
child?
said, open book, go for it.
Uh, yeah, cool. So similar to you, how you were sharing, there's nothing else to do but be with your thoughts over those 2 days. My first experience of meeting my inner child was actually through a 10-day retreat where we meditated slash did Anapana breath work every single day for 10 hours a day. There was no eating
Wow.
after 12. There was no technology, no reading, no exercise, no yoga, no physical contact, no eye contact, and no speaking. So you're just doing 10 hours a day. And I got through like the first couple of days, and I remember thinking, yeah, okay, well, maybe my back's getting really strong from sitting up straight for 10 hours a day. That's good. And then it wasn't until like between the sixth or eighth day where I was sitting behind a woman and she was asking because at the end of the class, you could ask the teacher a question for 5 minutes. And so she was saying to this teacher, she's like, oh, like I just feel like I feel like I'm gonna be sick, and I feel like I've just been like crying nonstop. And the teacher, I can't even remember the teacher's answer. I just remember my thoughts. And in that moment, as I was behind her, I was like, that will never happen to me. I'm like in my head, I'm like, so weird. Go back to my room later and I start thinking about this woman and I start thinking literally like, I wonder if that could happen. And it just something something shifts. And at this point, I'm not spiritual, I'm not connected, I'm not tuned in, but I just can feel it. And I feel this like a almost like a static noise and like a storm, like a dark storm coming. And I almost again hear this voice in my head. It's like, oh, here we go. Like, here we go. Are you really gonna do this? And then my whole body gets this feeling, and it's like I'm thrown into my 12-year-old self, and
Wow.
I just start crying.
So you
And
sort of
I'm
like
just
time
crying.
traveled in that way. Would you say? Would you say you sort of had that experience where you time traveled within your mind? I could say it's in your mind. I'm just being very basic. I know there's more to it, but you sort of time travel back to that time, yeah?
Well, it's like it's more like the illusion of time was completely dissolved because I just went became so present that I was able to, yeah, like you said, this is a totally simplistic definition of what's actually happening, hey. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
I was
We
able
know
to
better. We know better.
I was able to time travel, yeah, into my 12-year-old body and then feel and experience everything that she felt, but I just didn't feel safe to feel in that moment. And I was laughing. I was actually laughing as I'm crying, like uncontrollably, laughing so loud because I'm just feeling like every single moment, the grief, the anger, the shame, the fear, the reasons for why I push people away, like for why I like had commitment issues, for why I was a perfectionist, for why I just couldn't stop people pleasing, for why I was anxious, for why I couldn't stop overthinking. I'm like, holy shit, this is I'm like, I'm free, like it was like as it was so terrifying and it was so joyful, Jay. It was incredible. And I remember honestly, as soon as that experience happened, I was like, done. I know what my purpose is now. This, like what happened to me, because I just didn't even know it was possible to feel that good and feel that free. I had just at that point in my life, I'd given up on healing my anxiety and just decided it was a thing I had to cope with for the rest of my life. Like I was like, this, yeah, it's never going to be fixed because the psychologist couldn't help it. The CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, couldn't fix it. So
Yeah.
the exercise, the dieting, all of it didn't help. It helped, but it didn't fix it. So you just
You
have
weren't
to accept.
fixing the problem, which is basically what. See, I believe in. I truly believe in what they. If you ask for something, you'll get it, right? So
Mm,
especially when you're becoming more and more balanced within yourself, taming the ego, as we know.
mm,
It's like I called for for my time to be in this. I call it the Native American Sweat Lodge at the time,
mm,
and I had to be. Well, my best mate Cortez Medford, in England, which I do life theories with. He goes, Jay, you've got to be where you need to be, and you needed to be at that breathworks seminar. I needed to be in the Hurricane Beryl in Houston. And
yes,
if you accept and if you accept everything as a lesson, gift, or a message, which we've done, and take that and move on to find that purpose in yourself, in which we're both we're both on the path of doing that on our paths, you know what I mean, at different levels, but we're still on the path of going, right, this is the experience. It's amazing how we've done that. Continue with your story. That just resonates with me so much.
yeah, and I love that. I love how you brought it back to see everything as a gift or a message. It's like no matter what happens, it's like perfect, good. Like what is available? This is stoicism again. It's like what's available to me now because of this obstacle, not
Yep.
because, yeah. And yeah, and I just knew at that moment, I'm like, this, I know exactly what you said. I called this in. Like there was no logical part of me that wanted to go to that retreat. I just knew I had to. It was choiceless. And then after that, finding my purpose, again, choiceless. And then I remember like quite a few things happened after that really rapidly.
Go for
I
it.
was just I was so happy and I was like, oh, I'm free. All this anxious overthinking is gone. It was like being in the Matrix. I could see all my thoughts falling through my awareness and I could just do this. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Just
Wow.
snip, snip.
So it's
Yeah.
basically, was it instantaneous for you? Because I know for myself, I mean, finding, I'm going more into that, finding myself. I've got it now. It's basically, I've got the pieces now. And I think basically anyone who's got pieces of their puzzle to where they want to go, they still have to tame and understand themselves, but also understand the messages that the universe gives to you. Like if you're watching a certain video of a lot of times, it's trying to give you a message. You'll be drawn to that. Do you feel like you were drawn to the breath work as well, Bert? Were you
It's interesting because with this retreat, it kind of just landed in my lap.
okay?
Yeah, I wasn't really drawn to it. I just knew I had to do it when it arrived.
Yep.
But then everything after that, I would say was I was drawn.
Okay, you're drawn to it. Okay. Um,
Mm,
fantastic. So I want to ask you about the breath work. Let's go more into the purpose of breath work with regards to your clients and what you're doing as here we go. I'll use this. I'll use the savior of the world. As I like to use analogies because we need people. We need more people like yourself. You see the way the state of the world is. We both know where it's at. We both know the awareness and consciousness is growing, and the egos are getting smashed. Okay, and we're coming, I guess, more forth. We're more forth, I guess, and there's a lot more of the understanding of understanding yourself, like watching videos like Conversations from God you were talking about. I watched that back in '96.
mm,
When I was introduced, The Secret. we saw what the secret was, and this is where it all got construed as far as I'm concerned. Like they get the secret, you can manifest anything, but they don't understand you've got to do the inner work. Your breath work, where do you see it in the future, or where do you see it now as the breathwork master? And part of your purpose is to get this out and understand that people need this in your life. Where do you stand with that?
My deepest reason for all of this is to depathologize anxiety so that people understand that it is a transient state of being and it is not a death sentence or a permanent condition. And where I see it going is I would love for everyone to understand that you are not your thoughts and that your thoughts are literally creating your reality. And if you're just willing to be in the moment, moment to moment, you will find freedom and peace wherever you are.
And that's where breath work comes in, because you're tell us about your classes, how you get people into that moment. Because I've seen the videos and people can't sit still. I mean, I can't sit still at the best of times.
Well,
Right.
yeah, that,
But you know
but
what?
I,
But we have purpose in what we're doing as well. But we look at the way we actually sit and switch our minds off. And what you're doing is, let's say 80 or 90% of the population can't do it.
yeah,
And
and
that's just
that,
a general comment. But yeah,
oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for bringing that in because I feel like you and I have been drawn to each other for that, because we have that same resonance. It's like we can't sit still, always like on the go, wanting to do more. Like you're a motivation coach. It's like I don't call myself that, but that is definitely within what I do for people, motivate them to action.
we will. It's a tag. It's basically helping people. That's what I'm saying to you. So with your coach
Yeah.
with your what you do, where do you find what actually I'll step back one. When they come and see you for a session or sessions or healing, talk about your process. This is what people want to know, because they want to go, I
Mm,
want to go see this lovely lady and say she does wonderful work. What can she do for me? Go through go
mm,
through what you do. I think that's what people need to know.
mm. Well, it's interesting, Jay, because mostly now I focus on the teacher trainer training.
Okay.
So mostly
Well,
people
tell us
come to
about that. Tell us about that. I mean, you're teaching people with the skills that you've learned to go and do other to take this process and try to heal as many people as they can, or whoever needs to be healed by that person. So tell us about how you got to that point and what you're doing to help society, I guess, in that way, to educate
okay,
more.
how I got to that point. Hmm. It would have been because I was working with people and I was helping them, and then I just realized that there was a level of impact that I wanted that I wasn't accessing, which is when I decided, you know what, we're going to do a teacher training and we're going to equip people with the tools so that they can go either A, learn them for themselves, or B, go and learn them for themselves and then share it with everybody around them. I'm like, that's how we get to make this exponential, like move breathwork across the globe exponentially.
Mm.
Um, but when it comes to like my process around how I work with people, I would say it's I'll I'll ascertain, it's like, cool, how safe are you in your nervous system? How safe do you feel in your body? How safe are you to be still? How safe are you to receive? How safe are you to be in your power? And if you don't have safety in all those areas, then I know, okay, cool. This is actually something that we can work on because we're in this place right now in society where the collective belief is you aren't good enough. You need to do more. And you should just sit down and shut up. Like if you're big, if you're succeeding, if you're doing well, don't talk about it. Right? Like so there's a lack of safety.
Well, you're 100% right. It's just
Crazy.
like if someone decides, look what I'm doing, then it's tall poppy syndrome, especially in Australia.
Exactly. Oh
And
my God.
I found that when I was overseas, they actually were interested in what my story was, because it said through my writing. Here we go. I'm gonna plug. This is my new book. But basically writing the words that I write, but also motivating people to what I've been through and understanding that you can get to where you want to get to, but there's people out there like you and me who have been through it, and we can guide you through it as much as possible. But I find, especially here, it shouldn't be generalization, but people they just don't want to hear it. Oh, this is what I've
Mm,
done. They think you're bragging. It's not like that at all.
no, yeah, you just have to be loud so that people can find you.
That's exactly
It's like,
right. That's
yeah,
exactly.
I agree. I love that you plugged your book. Like, I think when people are like, oh, I don't want to brag, I'm like, no, brag more. I'm like, please, more. Like, if you're here to help people and influence them positively, like, you need to be louder than people who are powerful, who are famous, who have money, who are coming from a place that is corrupt or
Or
impure.
ego. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah,
Clip
like you
that.
have.
Clip that. Clip that, ladies and gentlemen. That was perfectly said. Perfectly
Mm.
said. Because I mean, we only we've got is our heart and consciousness, and we look. No one's perfect, ladies and gentlemen. We're both doing that. Um, with regards to your breath work and who you've come in contact with, how do you feel the impact of that of what you're doing, especially in Vegas, has impacted? Do you have people internationally coming to you, or do you have that opportunity to spread internationally? And it's just a question. I think how it's not a case of go, oh, well, I'm going to go global. It's not about global. It's the message that you're giving, especially with the internet that we've got. What impact have you had on going viral? I guess not going viral. I use those stupid terms,
Oh, no,
but
but yes.
you
Go
get where I'm
viral, go
going.
global. I do love those words and I use them because I think it's so important. Like I said, like we have to amplify our voices and we'll use whatever tools and systems are available to do that. It is the intention that makes the system pure, right? So if it's coming from a beautiful place, like go viral. So for me, yeah, we've got clients in the US, in the UK, in Europe, in Switzerland, what else? Yeah, and we're here for global domination through love.
How do
Global,
you
like,
and how do you feel? How do you feel with regards to people at different in different countries? Is there a different vibration, different mindset compared to what we have in Australia at the moment? Because
it's
obviously it's very, and we know it's very hard. We can go on and on about the well, we
mm,
can call it. Well, I'll call it the negative side of things, just for terms. But do you feel that there is hope out there in around the world? Because what you're doing is mate, if you don't breathe, your cactus is cactus.
oh
You get where I'm
yeah,
going,
Jake.
yeah.
Every country like that I've like done any work in or any clients, wherever they've lived, there is always a hub of collective consciousness. And they think that there's people around them don't understand. I'm like, no, you're just actually not being loud enough. You have to express yourself more, be more vocal. You have to shine because if you shine, they can see you and they can actually be magnetized towards you. You're living in this illusional bubble that you're the only one in this little hovel that is making a difference. I'm like, no, we're everywhere, but you just have to be willing to face that fear of rejection, put yourself out there and become the center of that collective, and then people come.
Do you feel like, as I said to you, with people using particular words? I mean, I'm very particular about not using the word spirituality in too much
Mm,
because of the fact. And they look. Let's be honest. The mainstream media grabs. I don't know about you, because breathwork's totally different in my book. But they've grabbed shadow work. They've grabbed inner child. They've grabbed coaching and basically flogged it to death. You get where I'm going? Like, even when they did when massage and myotherapy went, I guess mainstream back in 2000, when they decided in their ultimate wisdom is to we can make money out of this. And that's the way it was. They've decided to put a course in there and go, right, we'll government grants, we'll put anyone we want, we'll just make it mainstream. If you're not a physio, you're a masseur, all this kind of stuff.
mm,
But they didn't see the essence of what we were doing. All the healers decided to get the hell out of there.
mm.
They
Okay.
started to get out about 2010. Now, you know, if you find it, it's like it's really gone underground. Like, people like myself have gone underground who know what we're doing. How do you feel about that with regards to what you're doing? Because yours is very channeled into what, you could be considered, a spiritual teaching in some way, or
Mm.
it's not really an alternative medicine, but it damn well is. I mean, breath is everything. If you're not breathing, you cactus, as I said.
Even cacti breathe. Yeah. Oh, but I hear you. Yeah. And how I understand it is I'm like, how am I going to change the system if I'm not willing to be part of it? How am I going to change a system if I don't understand it better than people who created the system do?
Yep.
So yeah, so
Do,
yeah,
do,
there
do,
is.
do you get a lot of pushback yourself, or do you, when you?
I do, but I just don't care. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so much more important than your weird projection that like this is. I think someone like on one of my ads once actually wrote like, "Oh, why would I like pay to learn how to breathe when I can just do it for free?" And I wrote back and I said, "Well, you can." I'm like, "Do you want the YouTube link for the free breathwork?"
People
Like,
just don't get it. Because when you go into the conscious, okay, here's one for you. If someone wanted to start their breath work right now, they're watching this video and they go, okay, I'm actually quite interested to see, because I can see from the talk we've had that breath work is very important. What's a basic start that
oh,
someone can do? Here we go. A basic start that someone can do each day, whether it be night, and I always say, night, day, middle, whatever it may be, someone they can start and put into their routine. What would you suggest?
two things. One, okay, tangibly, you can actually just go on Spotify, find all my free breathworks under Berenice Tan breathwork, and you can just start with
Could
the
I just
beginner
write that?
med.
Could I just write that down? Was it?
Oh, I can just link it to you, and then you
Yeah,
can
if you
just
know,
look.
because I'll put it up. I'll put it up in the
Yeah.
video for sure.
Yeah. So and all of it's free. Like just start. It's 5 minutes a day. Just start. So there's that. But then for people who are like, oh, I don't, maybe they're not very tech savvy, and you don't have to be to access Spotify, but you don't
Yeah,
feel very with tech. Like it's super simple to start. All you have to do is for maybe 2 minutes, just start at 2 minutes a day. Just focus on exhaling longer than you inhale. And there's three things I say. Focus on breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus on breathing into the belly, not the chest. If you go into your chest, you're activating your sympathetic nervous system, which is the part of you that gears up for a fight or to outrun an aggressor. And so, if you want to go into your healing or your rest and digest state, you can just exhale longer than you inhale. So, inhale for 4 in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, and out through the mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and inhale and exhale. And this slowing down your heart rate, totally shifting you into a place of rest and digest. It's dilating your pupils, it's increasing the moisture in your mouth, it's allowing you to retain more CO2 so you can open the carotid arteries in your brain, so you can increase blood flow, so you can think clearer, so you can focus better. So instead of going through life with tunnel vision, you have a lateral focus. And that technique I still to this day use when I'm speaking on stage, when I'm in a high pressure conversation with my partner where we're moving through conflict. It's like just exhale longer than you inhale, and you will find like you go from being reactive to being in a place of expansion. Like what's the gift here?
that's
Instead
fair.
of
I've seen stuff breath work before, and that's been explained. You've explained it the best I've ever heard it. Okay, I'm not just saying that because maybe that's when I needed to hear. And then the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, I needed to hear it right now. So this is the thing where you turn the mirror, as I always say, message gift lesson. Here we go. This is when it's meant to happen. So
mm,
um, I'm going to go on to that. Moving on from that, and we move on to people. As I said, we're not claiming to be medical professionals or anything. We know people worry about we have a issue with anxiety. Anxiety, we'll go with anxiety, stress, overthinking. Now, that technique you showed us there, Bert, is that one what you can use, because we know people go through panic attacks. We know people have anxiety, all those kind of things. And look, they can say people can go, oh yeah, I'll go to the doctor and all that kind of stuff. Can this help you? Because I've been through it. I know how scary it is. What's your opinion on that there? Because there's a lot of people with high anxiety issues. What do you think
yeah,
about what can you the stuff that you just showed us? Can that help you with reducing the cortisol levels?
absolutely. Oh, and it's not just anecdotal. There's literally research and science being done in hospitals right now. So the medical community is actually helping us back this up. And what they're finding is that it's one of the most basic studies was done on asthmatics, right? And what is asthma? It's like you can't draw breath, so you panic.
Yes.
Happens, and then you go into a panic attack, right? Which
Yep.
then constricts more. And what they found, this is a study done in Brisbane in the Mater Hospital, where they did, I think, don't quote me on this. I can always link the study to you
No,
later
that's all
if you
right.
can.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
Like
Well, as I said,
eight
we're just chatting, so that's all good.
8 weeks of Buteyko, which is a restricting, which is a kind of under breathing technique, allowed them to shift the symptoms of asthma for, I think, 80% of the group, 70% reduction in medication dependency, and there was a percentage that got off medication as well, like for asthma alone, right? So this is, and it's so interesting, like if you Google how do I cure asthma, you'll actually find that Google just says asthma is an incurable disease.
No,
There are
it's not.
medications.
No, well, I've been through it too. I'm supposed to be so-called asthmatic. So,
Yeah,
and just through health, exercise, and all that to start with, but also once we get into a point of doing our shadow, okay, I'm using shadow work, or get within ourselves and obviously control our egos and understand, cortisol and all those kind of things. Yes, people are born with maybe inflammation in the lungs. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But how you can definitely still control that.
100%. Yeah. And when it comes to anxiety, it's so interesting. There's a really simple test you can do. It's called a control pause.
Yep.
And what you do is you take a really small breath in, small breath out, and then you see how long you can hold your breath comfortably. And the point is, you might get a contraction in your belly, in your throat. And when you feel that, that's your first desire to breathe. And you time the distance between taking that breath in, breath out, and the time it takes for you to feel like you need to breathe. And if it is under 10 seconds, you're actually breathing way too fast. And typically what will happen is people who are breathing between maybe 12 times per minute and higher, they just actually have anxiety. Like the breath and your emotions are so linked that most of the population is actually breathing too much.
Do you
And
think
if you're
that? Yeah. Do you think with that one, that's a great one. Do you think that with regards, especially in this day and age, with all the rubbish that's happening, all the corruption and all that kind of garbage, they're putting the stress on that stuff that even just having control of your own breath and thoughts. I mean, we're losing that. We're losing that
yeah,
heavily. So, what would you? So that little technique you showed us, would that be the first thing you should do? Because
yeah,
I think the hardest thing is too, because we're so pushed into this, I guess, physical world, which is obviously not good for us. Let's be honest. People like us who are coming out and being aware of it and pushing that 5 minute breath, is that where you would start to try and control the mind?
well, it's interesting. It really depends on the kind of person that you are. So
Okay.
because I'm a very, like, similar to you, high energy, people used to tell me I had ADHD growing
Oh,
up.
everyone says that. I've got
Yeah,
that. And I no, I don't. I'm just crazy.
yeah, me too. I'm like, it's just a gift. It's like a
I'm
neurodiverse
just a I'm
gift.
just a loose cannon. It's the way it is. But
Yeah.
with the heart thing. But sorry to keep interrupting.
No, it's so good. But see, that's why you have to tune into who you are and how you like to learn. For me, if I go into something, I'm all in and I want the most extreme version of it because it's just fun for me. So for me, it was starting with the holotropic, the tumno breathing, the really deep journeys, which
Yeah.
again, Jay, I can link you a free one for everybody to try down
Yeah, that'd
here.
be good. Yeah, if you can. Yeah, just send it in there. Send it in an email and I'll
Yeah.
sort it out.
Yeah, and so for me, for like an adrenaline junkie, for someone who almost like doesn't, if you don't act, then you almost sabotage. Like I love to just go all in. So for a deep dive, that breath work is a great place to start. If you're someone who's has a tendency towards feeling really, really anxious, it's really hard for you to kind of get into something. If it's difficult to begin with, you don't love the uncomfortable, that's when I would say you start with the 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And then you build up a habit until it's easy for you to do 5 minutes, and then you do 10, and then you do 15, and you do 20. and then move to the journeys because they're a little bit longer
Okay.
and they can start and feel really uncomfortable. Does that
Because
make sense?
yeah, absolutely. Because we always say
Mm.
we're going to have enough time, but what it is well, I believe it's the higher, it's the corruption and all that kind of garbage that's happening in the governments that are pushing and making people think that way. We do have choice. Like it only took me 46 years to work out how I could make choices.
Yeah, it took me like 20, like 23. I'm like 37 now. I feel like it wasn't
And then
until I was.
49 years to work out that I was making excuses, even though I was going through all this. I mean, it's
I
it's
feel like
the
I'm still learning that.
it's the layers. It's the layers. You go, hang on a minute, bloody excuse, mate. You know.
Yeah, right?
And it's fine. It goes, oh, it took you 49 years. Well, guess what? It took me 49 years. At least I'm aware of it. And then the other thing with regards to the breath work, do you believe there's a particular time you could do it, or just I've always had the belief is when now, I mean, I'm asthmatic and I'm understanding breath work and calming myself down. I can do it, ever since I've had the anxiety attacks and all those kind of things, since I went through what I went through, I can actually
Mm.
calm myself down. But now I have even more appreciation and more awareness talking to you about, right, doing that 2 minute breathing technique. So, do you think it should be done at a particular time, or do you think maybe as you think about, because then you can train yourself into doing it every day? You know, the 21-day rule, you know how it works.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go to a beginner. For a beginner, yeah, choose a habit that you can maintain and ideally do it in the morning and set a deadline for you. Might be 30 days, might be 90 days. And my teacher used to say, which I stand by as well, it's like he says, if you think you have 20 minutes, do 10. If you think you have 10 minutes, do five. If you think that you can do 5 minutes every day, do two,
That's good.
right?
Yeah, that's great. Yep.
So good, right? And then do it for the first month and then raise it and then raise it again. For me, I always do my breath work just before I actually start work because usually I can feel myself and there's this energy of like, oh, I've got to go. I need to answer this. I need to start this. And it's usually those times when I think I don't have time or that I'm most stressed that I need to do it the most. So anytime I catch myself saying, oh, I don't have time, I'm like, yes, you do. Now you need to sit, and I will sit no
That's a
matter what.
that's a conscious. That's just a conscious thought and a conscious process of changing your thinking, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's like if you think you don't have time, you should probably be doing an hour.
well, this is exactly it. So it's like when I write my journal every day. So it's like 2 minutes a day, but it's
Yeah,
something to keep that time to keep that. So just one, it's we don't have enough time to do this. Yeah, you do, but you have
yeah,
time to sit on your ass and do nothing. So that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
I view it.
It's like the time my mentor said something really funny once. She's like, oh, and the time you took to explain why you couldn't do it, you could have done it already.
No, I see that all the time. I go, okay, we're sitting here. Okay, yeah, let's go and do something. But by the time we're finished, we could have done it.
Exactly. So funny.
It is like
Um,
that. It is like that. Just to finish up, because we've got about 2 minutes to go on this interview, but we'll definitely get you back in about 6 months. What's your parting words with regards to what you do? And it's been a wonderful, opening. If people don't understand what breath work is now, and this is why I do what I do. Tell us your final words before we end this chapter. Come back soon. We'll talk about it later.
mm,
Anyway,
mm. Yeah, I would say wherever you're at in your journey, just remember that you're exactly where you need to be in order to get where you're going. There's a collective illusion or delusion right now that has been perpetuated through mass media, through marketing, that you're not you're not performing enough, or you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not successful enough, you're not masculine, you're not feminine enough, whatever it is. And you have to understand that the block that you're experiencing is the fact that you're believing that. And people tend to think that maybe they start their breath work or their meditation and a block comes up. Oh, I can't sit still. I keep thinking, like I'm so shit at this, right? And they think it means that they're not moving forward. I'm like, you can't bypass your blocks. You actually have to sit with them and be with them. So if you're experiencing that you're overthinking or you're not getting anywhere or it doesn't work for you, that is the exact block you get to be with. And if you're truly with it, it will move. But you have to accept that you don't need it to because you're exactly where you're meant to be and you are 100% perfect the way that you are.
Fantastic. On that note, we're about to finish up. We've only got about a minute left. Thank you so much. Where can they find you? You've got about 30 seconds.
Okay. Spotify, free breathwork on there. Insight Timer, free as well. Contact me on Facebook, Berenice Tan, and just message me, and I'll just send you a journey if I've got one that I feel resonates with you. Or Instagram as well, breathwork, and we can just have a conversation about whether it's breathwork for yourself or whether you're wanting to step into becoming a teacher. That would suit you the best.
Fantastic. Well, that was Berenice from Brisbane, Vegas. This has been Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather with a chat with Jay, a chat with great people. If you want to be on the show, please shoot us a message, and we look forward to getting in touch with you. Thank you very much, Bert, for being involved. We're going to cut short. We're going to talk very soon. We look forward to speaking to you on the next episode on a chat with Jay. Thank you so much, Bert.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.